I want to pass the mic to Monica and to speak a little bit about what she does and how she does it.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here, and I'm very happy to speak in front of you, crowd. Sometimes my English is not very good, but I'll do my best. Also, I had to write little papers, which I never do, because I only have 20 minutes. And if I just continue, I'll go on forever. And they lent me a watch that I can't see. But if I take too long, you tell me, right? Okay. Okay. Well, as you heard, my name is Monica Borres. I am trained in Shamanism since 1993. I was, before that, a teacher in school. And I found this path, and my heart just totally went to it. I'm a mother of two. I'm a teacher also of shamanism, not only practitioner. And they told me to speak about magic and reality. And it was very funny because I was in the airplane saying, what is the difference? No, at least in my point of view, what I do in my everyday life, there is no difference. Of course, we could go into the New Agey thing that, oh yes, everything is magical, the flowers and the sunrise, everything is magical, which is true too. Also. But also, I find not only what I do, but what happens with what every person does is magical. On the other hand, reality is so individual. It's like one person's reality is another person's total unreal stuff. Like just recently we were with one of my teachers, Indian master Ma Parvatinath, and we had this experience. I'm dating this person who has a 9-to-5 job, very strictly in a factory, and my work obviously is totally out of a lot of people's reality. When he comes back home and says, what did you do today? Well, I had to lift a spirit of a person who fell down a roof and died, and then I had to go do a cleansing in a house that had people, non-bodied people living in there, so they couldn't sell the house. And he says, whoa, just another day at the office. And Ma Parvati was listening to us, and she was saying, you two are like one of those shows on television. You have nothing to do with each other. That is true. My life is that. But that is a reality. The thing is, what we have trouble understanding, of course, I'm not looking at my papers anymore. So it happens to me. What we have trouble understanding is that maybe we were brought up to know that only the reality that surrounds us is the reality. When we started studying this, my kids were small, and they would say, yes, Mom, but in the real reality, meaning this, what we can touch and smell and see and what we're used to. But that does not mean at all that other realities does not exist. They do, not only spirits without a physical body, not only energies that we are not able to measure, and that science says that does not exist, only because I cannot measure it. Throughout my process in being a healer, in my school I don't call myself a shaman, because that's much higher than what I do. But from being a healer or a witch, whatever you want to call me, I've been very scientific. It's like when I started reading the books and with my teacher, I was like, no way, this doesn't exist, no? But then after a while of working, I used to ask my patients or my clients, okay, give me an ultrasound of your illness and then have an ultrasound after I do work on you. And alas, things change. Doctors go crazy. Doctors are like, so where's the tumor? No? Many people, we've had a lot of success, thank God. Many people have not gone to surgeries because we do a psychic surgery, which is, of course, difficult on my part and on their part too. It takes a lot of their energy and my energy to make the healing, but it's a lot less than going into the OR. I can tell you this, and I can tell you also the limits of my job. I myself have 15 surgeries on my body. I don't have a very good karma with the body. And when I was diagnosed in the first cancer, and the doctor knows what I do, and he says, really? Do you want an operation? I said, look, I'm a healer. I'm very good at it. I know the limits. So go ahead and operate. So he did. And I'm okay, by the way. I'm clean. On the other hand, other kinds of reality is so there's realms of existence that a lot of people don't want to understand, don't care to understand, or are simply afraid. We were talking earlier, and I told them this story. At one point, my niece was very sick. She was a baby. And my brother is like super scientific, super square. And they couldn't bring the temperature down. My sister-in-law calls me. I do something, temperature drops. My brother comes in, puts a thermometer, sees it, leaves it on the table, turns around and leaves. He doesn't even want to talk about it now, and this was years and years ago. It's fear. It's very, very difficult to try to cross to the place where you understand that, yes, there are other realities. That, yes, people with training, and this is, almost everyone can do it. I've trained a lot of people since 1994 till today, trained a lot of people. And it's not like I have the gift and I have the magic. Yes and no. Almost anyone can do it. It's just a matter of training. It's a lot of training, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of meditation, a lot of qigong, a lot of psychotherapy. It's a lot of work. It's not just like you read in a book. It's done like this and this. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, or it depletes your energy. But yes, it can be done. So I was asked this afternoon, so what is exactly what you do? What I do, this, let's say, realms of existence, or like the threads in a spider web. No, they don't touch each other, but they're in contact of each other. If you move one, you're going to move the whole reality. That's an ancient concept called Virid. You're going to move the whole reality. If you get a spider web and just move a little bit, every part on the spider web is going to move. If we were to see the round threads as different levels of reality, different realms of existence, and the lines touching them, connecting them, we say that, quote unquote, normal human beings, or just any other beings also, are stuck like flies into the web. And the shaman is a spider who can walk on the web and move it. It doesn't mean that we're mean and we're going to eat the flies. At least not all the time. No, I'm joking. It means that we can actually go into the intersection between one realm or one level of reality and the other one. So people ask me, so what do you do when you're healing a liver or a womb that has cysts or things inside? What I do is, with my energetical body, with my energetical hands and some tools, I go into the energetical reality of that organ, and I change that reality there. And then that, let me put it this way, hits or integrates into the physical organ and actually heals it. This is done for the good and also for the bad, because yes, there is black magic. I don't know in this country, I haven't been here a lot, but in my country, for sure. For sure. And in other countries too. I found that Greece, full of it. Spain, some of it, yes. Yes, because the same way that I can go into the energetical womb or the energetical liver, I can go into the energetical whatever part of you and do whatever I want. Yes, it is true. It's not like, oh yes, but because I've had this. I don't believe in black magic, then it doesn't hit me. Not true. Really, not true. And as I told you, I've been very scientific throughout all these years. I've tried what happens with this, what happens with this, what proof can we get from this or this. And I've had the opportunity of not only healing physical body, but spaces, like I said before, like houses that they can't sell, they can't sell, they can't sell. Did you watch the movie The Others? Exactly like that. No, really, 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 really. Of course, if the grandmother is living in the house, why would she let somebody else come into the house and live? No, really. So then they tell me to go there. I go there. I contact the grandmother. I talk to her. I say, lady, I've got news for you. You're dead. And she, no, really, really. And she goes, no, I live here. Yes, but you don't have a physical body. You have to move on. Because people, and other beings too, die in the physical body. The spirit doesn't die, of course. And there's a process, there's a natural process of exiting the body in the best case scenario through your head. If something you're going to remember from this talk, remember that. Whenever you die, look up and jump. I'm serious. Really, really, really. If you come out of your body through any other hole, physical or etherical, you connect into a different level, into a different, ¿cómo se dice? Kind of vibration, frequency. And it's going to be a lot more difficult to transcend and go into a better place. Call it heaven, call it whatever. It's going to be more difficult. If you come out through the lower places of the body that resonate with different kinds of energy, it's going to be more difficult. The best thing, really, is to come out from the fontanelle, from Sahasrara chakra. If that doesn't happen, and people get stuck with attachment or envy or jealousy, I don't want to go because then my wife is going to be with somebody else or this or that, which happens. You don't know the amount of dead that I've worked with, and get attached to their bed. So where am I going to sleep? No? Dude, you don't have a body. You don't need to sleep. No? But it's very difficult. It's very difficult because we don't get, from an early age, we don't get training. We don't get training, regardless of your religion or not religion or whatever. It's very difficult that parents and teachers and people talk about death. Death is like, no, mommy, are you going to die? No, baby, don't worry. What do you mean? Yes, you are going to die. And the kid needs to know that you are going to die. We're so afraid of it, no? So what happens? This little old lady dies, and she doesn't want to believe, because remember, never underestimate the power of denial. She doesn't want to believe that she's dead. She's attached to the grandchildren or this or that or the money or the house or whatever, and she stays. So then people like me, but I repeat, almost anyone can do this with training. People like me go there, contact the lady, convince her. Many times, I'm also a psychotherapist, many times you have to do therapy. Okay, so you're frustrated, you're angry, yes, this, that, put it here, because we do shamanic psychotherapy, which is like, put your anger in my hand, then I burn it in a candle, and this and that, and then she can leave, and then the house sells. Really, well, the talk is magic and reality. Yes, it is a reality. Yes, it's magic, yes. I can tell you stories, we only have 20 minutes here or something, but I can tell you stories of people whose doctors have, ¿cómo se dice desahuciado? Told them that there's nothing to do and you're going to die, and they're still alive. Because yes, the experience of the human existence is in the body as well as in the spirit, as well as in the emotions, as well as in all the energetical body. And doctors only reach up to a certain place, which is very nice that they're there. And it's very nice that we have antibiotics and painkillers. No? I just had a huge operation with cuts this big. Thank God for painkillers. Because really, I have people say, oh, you shouldn't take antibiotics. Yes, dude, I would be dead. And I'm not ready. No, definitely. So doctors only reach until a certain place. And yes, there is black magic. Yes, someone can, and in Mexico it's done a lot, and in South America also. I didn't find a lot in Chile, but in the south of Chile, yes. Take your hair or one part of you to connect into the vibration of your body and do a certain thing, stir it up, bury this, bury that, and you become ill. And doctors don't know. They don't know how to deal with it. They can deal with the symptoms or this or that, but they don't know. They're puzzled, they don't know. Okay, I'm going to tell you one story. They bring me this baby, 1 month old. Half of his life, 15 days, he had been with a very, very high fever. I live in a small town. People are not rich, so they take them to social security hospitals that in Mexico are not very nice, and they say, take him to die. We don't know what it is. Take him to die. So they bring him to me, and he was not eating. He was not going to the bathroom, so he was stopped. I saw him, and all of his chakras were blocked. Chakras have many, many uses and many functions, and one is to discard energy into the outside of the body. I just opened his chakras. He started pooping, eating, pooping again, and he's still alive and well. And this was probably 15 years ago. He would have died. So then I researched what happened. Somebody didn't want that baby to be born, and they did black magic to the mother, an ex-girlfriend of the father. This, I can tell you stories. I have encountered many, many of them, sadly. Many times it's like, oh my God, how can a person do this? How can a person do this to another person? Brothers to brothers, like really, really, really bad. Luckily, there are people like us, because I say us because it's not only me, it's me and my teachers, and it's me and my students who are out there trying these cases, and treating these cases, which are very good. Another thing that we do is also reading. I read the tarot, I read the hands, and I read other means of divination, which is, can you tell me the future? No, because the future does not exist. I can tell you traces. You're going sort of this way. If you don't change this, no. But tell you the future, I don't believe that in the future, because it changes all the time, no? Anything you change, there's even movies about it, no? Change the outcome of what's going to happen. That's very logical. But yes, we do have preparation, and we do have training to see other angles and to see through other realms of existence what is happening in the cosmology of the person. So people come to me and say, okay, my knee has this and this. Okay. I can heal the knee in probably 7 minutes, no problem. But it's going to come back, more likely. I take a bit more than an hour to see what is going on. From what angle the harmony broke. Where is it tangled? Where can I go in there and untangle something that would heal the knee and heal the whole process of the person, giving the person a teaching in the process? I'm giving the teaching? No, of course not. I'm nobody to say, you should learn this from this experience. Nobody to say that. And nobody's nobody to say that to you unless very, very, very high masters. You have to learn it from yourself. But if your knee hurts and you only heal the knee, and you take painkillers or this or that, or operation or whatever, you're not getting the experience, you're not getting the knowledge of what's happening to you. That's where we go. We have different levels of shamanism as well as levels in the path. In my school, we do what we call high tantra, the highest level of shamanism. We call high magic, because every person or being involved in the situation, even weird beings and demons and things, are going to end up better. Yes, there is exorcism. Yes, that exists. I've done it. And yes, there are weird things out there. Yes. But what we consider is that every being, every creature in whatever realm of existence is part of God, is part of creation. And there is no one person who can say, you are okay, and this thing or this being or this whatever needs to die or get destroyed. I am nobody to judge that. Because if you were to go into the reason of why that being is doing, let's say, bad things, you will find suffering. You will find fear and suffering. There is no way, there is no pure, crude evil. Things, beings, and people do bad things because there is fear and suffering. So that means that everybody should be out there doing things? No. You take measures for this or for that. But that means that we have to, at least in my school, we treat every part of the situation with compassion. Sometimes really hard. Sometimes you have to really smack them. Bad, bad. And we have the power to do that. But never destroy. Never. I can take a being and put it in a rock and then throw the rock into the ocean. Not nice. Not nice. Because I wouldn't want to be there. I mean, how many times you've been like super angry, super frustrated, and done something that then you feel bad about? Same thing. So why would I do something like that? What I want to do is the best for every part of the situation. That's one of the reasons we call this, our path, the highest tantra, the high magic. Another reason is that we do not work. We are all very conscious that, yes, we do a lot of training, yes, we do a lot of reading and teaching and everything, but we are no one without the force of, however you may call it, God, the divine, the universal power, whatever name you want to give it. But I am absolutely no one without him, her. And that is also very, very, very important in our path. And the third is that in our way of shamanism, which exists in many countries, not only Mexico, of course, is a path of liberation, is a path of transcending karma. It's not only, and that's why I love my job so much. My aim in this lifetime, in this body, is to transcend karma, good or bad, and to complete the cycle into being outside of karma, which we call liberation. Illumination is little steps, liberation is outside karma. I don't know if I'm going to achieve in this lifetime, but that's my aim. But shamanism is a path of liberation, which we can speak about other paths of liberation. They're very, very beautiful and very good. But in this one, I get to help other people and other beings in the process. So I find it very, very complete in that sense. What else can I say? So magic is my reality, yes, every single day. And it's not a cheesy, oh my God, everything's so magical, so beautiful. No, it's very real. And after 20 years of doing this, and I'm still startled by people calling me, whoa, I'm feeling very good. The doctor said this and this, or the house sold, or the business is going incredible, or so. I'm still really whoa, I'm glad it happened. Because every step I give, I do the best I can. Of course, I put all of my knowledge and my energy in it, but I never know what the outcome is going to be. Never. Because it is magic. It is real movement of energy that I don't know. Because it depends on me, yes, in part, but it also depends in how open the person is. If somebody approaches me with fear or not believing or mocking or something, it's not that I'm not strong or anything, it's that the energy is closed, I can't go in. I mean, I could, but it'll take a lot of effort on my part and I don't want to. No? Why come to me if you don't believe in this? And it's not believe in me, it's believe in this. Because what is this? We all know everything is energy. No? That's basic physics, no? Everything is energy. Then if you learn how to move energy, why not? No? People say, how can you lower temperature or get a tumor out or this or that? Because it is energy. It's created by energy, and if my training is to move energy, that's what I do. Another part of it is karma. Of course, we could speak for weeks about karma and still don't get it. But yes, we all know more or less what karma is. And if it isn't your karma to die of cancer, no matter what I do, you're going to die of cancer. But, and I've seen this happen, if it isn't in your karma to have cancer because you need to learn something and you learn it, it disappears. Really. I've seen it happen. It goes. Not only physical illnesses, but other situations. If the person really gets the message. So how do you get the message? By logic? No. By throwing the tarot? No. People come to me, tell me what the message is. I don't know. It's your reality. No? In my school, we have Of course, if my students were here, they would laugh. Qigong, or yoga, which is management of energy. Psychotherapy, real, physical, body, psychotherapy, and meditation. Qigong because you need an extra energy. The energy you take from breathing and from eating is not enough. You need to do Qigong or certain kinds of yoga and certain kinds of Qigong. Psychotherapy because the thing that has got us, they told me to speak with good words. I was going to say something bad. What got us in a fucked up is neurotical patterns. What has got you and me and everybody sad and depressed and angry and with illnesses and this and that is neurotical patterns. Psychotherapy. In my belief, body psychotherapy. I don't believe in any other psychotherapy, and I've been in many. Body psychotherapy. In the line of Wilhelm Reich. And meditation. What kind of meditation? Dude, any. No, my teacher says, okay, do Dzogchen, do Tibetan meditation, do Kabbalah, do Tantra, do Tao, but do something. Because the idea is, you've got this body, which I don't know how much you know about anatomy. I know a lot because I've been very ill and I've been very, with a lot of operations and things. So I learned a lot, the hard way. It's amazing. The processes in the physical body are incredible. I mean, God's a genius, and he didn't have anything else to do. Like, he's incredible. You go out. You live in a very beautiful city. I live in Mexico City, super crowded. But go out and just see the trees and everything. Yes, I'm sounding cheesy now, but anyways. This place is beautiful. And this vehicle is so beautiful. What for? For being born, growing up, reproducing and dying? Like a bacteria? I don't think so. I don't know about you. I don't think so. I think we were giving this opportunity to do something with our spirit. Because the one that is in here and will come out of here and luckily never come back again, but I don't know, is the one who is real in me, not this. Do something about it. What does meditation give you? Space. Some meditations do this and that, and there's an enormous amount of meditations, an enormous amount of paths. Do whatever you want to do. But in the end, contemplation, which is the main part of meditation, apart from mantra repetition and visualization and this or that, contemplation, just being, not doing, just being here, it'll open space where knowledge comes. So what is this experience? Why do I have a cancer? Why do I have twice cancer? Go in there, just stay there, and it'll come. It's God speaking, yes, or no, whatever. It's your internal, yes. It's the angels, whatever you might call it, but it's wisdom. Wisdom doesn't come into here. This is rational. Wisdom comes here. So you try to understand, why do I have cancer? Da, 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 da. Okay, you can get a lot of things. But only if you sit in there and stay, you're going to understand. And suddenly you're sitting there and, whoa, so that's it. You got it. And that is growth. That is spiritual growth. So I don't know how we're doing with time. But that is what I do. Oh, yes, I was asked to do a little bit of history of shamanism. I'm not a historian. I can only tell you that shaman is a very ancient word that means person, man or woman, person of knowledge or wisdom. It doesn't mean Harry Potter, hocus pocus, anything. It means knowledge. And in shamanism, I describe my path, my school of shamanism, which is from my teachers, the art of moving reality through knowing it. It's through knowledge. It's not like, just say the word. No. It's through knowledge. Of course, we use words because word is very powerful, but it's through knowing how the grid, how the matrix of reality works, that we can go in and move it. That is the magic of shamanism. Shamanism have existed on this planet from day one. And in the ancient times, of course, the shaman was a priest, was the leader, was a doctor, was a psychologist. Of course, that has changed a lot through time. But what we do, and again, I repeat, in my school of shamanism, we are taught some psychology, and we are taught other means of knowing what is happening in the whole reality of the person, and not only the symptom that is bringing the person into my office, so that we can heal the whole reality. It's not that you come to my office once and your life is going to be perfect. No, because that's your and my sister makes a face. Why not? I hope I could. But what I can do is give light and traces of thought and traces of behavior so that you can get there. I think I have to leave the microphone now. Thank you so much.